Day before Valentine's Day. I hope everybody is doing well. I hope everybody's doing good with their partners. Hoping everybody will have an enjoyable day tomorrow for Valentine's Day on February 14th of 2026. I hope everybody is going to enjoy everything with their family, friends, and their partners. I'm hoping everybody today is being safe and well, especially with a mild, sweet day. Sunny, a little breezy, but everything's well. All right, so the reason why I'm on here is there has been First Amendment auditors that are actually going to be that were actually been notified as well as emailed and text messaged about Woodbridge Police Department. Um, Me and my friend of mine actually did talk to some auditors, and they're willing to do First Amendment audits at Woodbridge Township Police Municipality Township. Um, Sometime this month, it's going to happen. Um, So we definitely need to do the First Amendment with the police department in Woodbridge. We definitely need to do that to see if the Woodbridge Police Department does violate people's rights, um, and especially exercising free speech as well as free press. That's what we got to really do to see if the Woodbridge Police really does extend themselves, as well as having a civil rights attorney on on the side of who's going to be there to actually do the First Amendment. Um, he will be on phone call. He'll be on speed dial, and he will be there to make sure that everybody's going to be taken care of, making sure the cops are not going to violate their rights, um, and mainly make sure that if these cops do violate these people's First Amendment, then we would have a lawsuit against the Woodbridge Township. We would have to take them to Newark District Court to actually sue them for a federal lawsuit against them if they do violate our First Amendment, as well as our Fourth Amendment by taking our ID and identifying ourselves. Um, how you doing to everybody? I hope everybody's doing well. It's a wonderful day today instead of it being, zero temperatures, but today is actually pretty decent. It's supposed to be in the 50s next week, and that's going to be when things are going to be going on with the Woodbridge Township. I think it's going to be time that the auditors have to go there and they have to do what they have to do to take care of business. The cop bullied somebody. He thought he was going to take advantage of somebody, and he got in trouble for something. And then somebody had to go and threaten somebody. So this is the reason why now we have to do what we have to do is our First Amendment. This is how I look at it. You fucking bully people. The cops bully people. People need to bully the cops. That's what they need to do. You want to bully somebody, then you're going to get bullied back. And this is what happens. The First Amendment auditors are going to do their job. And when they do come here, then things are going to look really shady. And as well as having a civil rights attorney on standby, it's going to be a very, very crucial thing, because these cops are not going to be able to touch anybody when there's a lawyer involved. And badge number and names and all this stuff. It's going to look very, very crucial. Um, there's going to be First Amendment auditors that are going to be coming to Woodbridge Township, as well as a free speech. Somebody's going to be doing free speech and everything. So this is, a very, very big thing that needs to be done with the Woodbridge Township, because they are corrupt. They are digging out of taxpayers' money. Meaning you guys that are driving around in Woodbridge Township and Middlesex County, anywhere from Route 9 to New Brunswick Ave to Convery Boulevard to any kind of road that goes through Woodbridge, Broadway Avenue, any kind of road like that, these cops are going to pull you over, and basically they're going to, ask you for your license, registration, insurance, and then they give you a ticket or a summons. And all that money that they use, they're going to use that for... I've been reading up on some things as well as what the police department's doing. What they're doing is they're taking tickets, and they're getting tickets for people to pay, as well as arrests and everything like that, and warrants and stuff like that. And what happens is these cops go around, they do this to these people, And what happens is, all that money that they do now, they're actually doing food drives for the schools. Um, they're doing a whole bunch of other things when the cops should really be worrying about is their job, and not worrying about making the town rich and making things better for towns, meaning food drives, toys for tots. I think the cops need to really worry about is their job. Worry about making sure the crime rate's down, making sure that if somebody committed a crime, they're there to investigate, and make sure that they get their name and badge and all that stuff. So you know how it works. These cops like to torment people and bully people, but this is the reason now that the First Amendment auditors has to come to Woodbridge Township. They're going to have to come there and they're going to have to take care of it. There's going to be a few people that are going to be here at the end of the month, and they're definitely going to be there to do what they need to do to see if they violate the person's rights. I mean, things need to be done. I definitely know one cop is going to be a bully about it, because he doesn't like when um, people really do free speech against people, and especially sticking the middle finger. I mean, this is what I've heard from my friend. He actually did say that, a cop got offended because of the fact that someone stuck his middle finger at somebody. And then he got really upset about it, and they pulled him over and gave him a ticket because of saying that's disorderly conduct or disorderly. But that's a load of BS. People got to realize it's the First Amendment, free speech. Cops, stop being a bunch of pussies about it. This is what happens in life. You want to bully people, they're going to bully you. This is what happens. Things are going to happen. And you guys need to learn. Worry about your job, respect the oath of the Constitution. If you were brought up and raised as an officer in a family, and you want to go around and you want to violate someone's rights because them doing free speech, free press, and whatever else they want to do, and bully you, then that's not my problem. This is what happens in life. Jeff Horvath bullied somebody, did bad things to somebody. He got in trouble for it. And then someone goes around at 70-something years old and threatens somebody. Why are you going to go around threatening somebody? Because your son did what he did to somebody. And someone even said, as a parent, my son should have kept his mouth shut. Yep, I agree. Everybody should keep their mouth shut and mind their own business. Stop power tripping. Stop fucking bullying people. Stop fucking doing what you're doing. You cops out there, you think you guys are so tough and all that, but when it comes around and you guys got to pay a person $50,000 to $100,000 because you're going to sit there and harass this person and stalk this person and do bad things to this person, and he has a lot of evidence on his cameras, you know what? This is what happens. Should have never did what you did. Should have kept your legs closed. Mind your own fucking business and do what you got to do. Violating someone's First Amendment, as well as harassing and stalking somebody and bullying somebody, and on top of it, being there when he got arrested. I mean, that's kind of wrong too. Why would Jeff Horvath be there on arrest in September? Why would he want to be there? He got his colleagues. This is how it works, right? Videos out there in this world. You could watch videos from YouTube. You could watch videos from Twitch. You could watch videos from anything, even on public TV. You can actually see when a cop actually gets another officer, dispatches another officer to come out and bully this person and harass this person and stalk this person because of the fact that he doesn't like that he's doing something respectful and peaceful protest. Now, I personally, I'm going to tell you the honest truth, the way this Jeff Horvath man is and what I've heard about him and the thing that this gentleman has been doing, I don't fucking care for him. He's a very disrespectful fucking police officer. Just like him and his family. After I heard about it, it's very, very wrong. Why would a 7-year-old woman, and I'll say this because I do think people need to know this person's name. I have it written down because of this person. This woman's name is Joanne Horvath. Joanne Horvath. Okay, this is the mother of Jeff Horvath in Woodbridge Township. Okay, why would somebody in the right mind come out? Person didn't even speak to that person. This person was speaking to a neighbor, just voluntarily asking and making sure everything's okay. And she comes out of the blue and starts threatening this person in the public street. Why would in the world a 7-year-old woman could sit there and fucking threaten some civilian for no apparent reason, because she was pissed off about the fact that her son got into trouble by his supervisor. That's not my problem. I do think that this officer did a violation as well, a civil rights violation, and district court had to pay a lawsuit, a federal lawsuit, because of the fact that this officer, as well as another officer that was included with this officer, did turn around and get a federal lawsuit up in Newark because of the civil rights violation. Now, how I look at it is you violating people's rights doesn't matter by discrimination of color, race, being sexual, like sex, orientation of the person, okay? And violating someone's civil rights, meaning doing illegal arrest, police misconduct, or anything like that. This is what happens in this world. The township has to pay for it, or the state has to pay for it, or a federal lawsuit with a district court because of this violation. Now, how I look at it is, there's somebody as a cop that does violate someone's rights or civil rights, does he deserve to have a job? Does he really deserve to have a job as an officer because of what he did to someone? I personally do think he deserves no job. Feel like the best thing that should happen is that he deserves to have his license and his immunity, qualified immunity, taken away because of the fact of what he did. No, he's still an officer and he's a detective now. And he's investigating this individual because of the fact that I'm sitting here helping out this person for what he's going through. This fucking cop is ruining his life because of the fact that I'm here helping him out for everything that he was getting put through. Rawway, police misconduct, lied to him. Violated his Second Amendment right because he had something that he never committed a crime. He had to do 12 months of probation for fucking nothing. How many people that these officers in this complete country, as well as Woodbridge Township, how many cops that are corrupt as fuck, that are going around and putting innocent people in prison and doing jail time, and these officers are not doing their job like they're supposed to fucking do. These officers are going around arresting people, putting people behind bars with less evidence that they're supposed to have more evidence to prosecute somebody and put them in prison for a certain amount of time that the judge has to give a sentence to. The justice system. The criminal justice system. This is why the ACLU, and I'm going to explain to this too, the ACLU was also contacted about the Woodbridge Police Department. They're also going to be doing an investigation pretty soon about that. Somebody did an application into the ACLU about what these officers are doing in Woodbridge Township. Now, I do think that Woodbridge Township deserves to be a full cooperated investigation with all these officers to make sure that they're not doing anything illegal, making sure they're doing things completely legal by law, and making sure that they're not violating people's rights. Like a lot of cops are violating people's rights because when they ask you for your ID, identification, and all that, they're kind of looking into your background and looking, and if you have a warrant or anything like that, that's considerably a violation because that's considerably of your privacy, your private information. These officers need to have this done. That's why the ACLU has been notified and emailed about the information that needs to be done, and things need to be processed because of the fact of what these officers are doing. And especially this person was out there doing his free speech, didn't do nothing illegal, didn't do anything wrong to anybody. And all because of Jeff Horvat had to notify these other officers and these cruisers. There was roughly, I think, what he told me, there was between 5 or 6 unmarked vehicles that drove by on West Pond Road, going underneath the underpass and going back onto Route 1, Route 9 North, going towards, like you're going towards Linden. So there was a good amount of police officer cruisers sitting there doing the thing before this person, Mr. Thompson, Mr. Egan, and then this other douchebags that showed up and fucked with this person, and there was no reason for it. Because he was out there doing something, somebody had to call the cops and made a big thing about it. Well, now it's going to happen again. And it's going to happen again, and it's going to happen again. And this time it's going to be in a very bad position, and it's going to look very bad. And when they mess with that person, the lawyer's on standby. I think the cops need to learn. You want to bully people, there are going to be people bullying you. You don't like it? We pay you to do your job. You leave the fucking person alone. You go and you fuck with this person, you're going to get a lawsuit. They're going to come after you and they're going to sue you. And they're going to make sure your qualified immunity gets taken away, making sure your job's getting taken away, making sure everything's, trust me, it's going to be the worst thing for Woodbridge Township. It's going to be the biggest lawsuit of them all. Because this person that was being bullied by Woodbridge police in September of last year, it's going to happen again. And when it happens again, this time they violate their rights, it's going to be the worst fucking thing on your mark. On your mark, get set, let's go. That's what's going to happen. You're going to lose everything. Everything that you worked for, your vehicles, your house, your money, everything that you have in your bank accounts are going to be cleaned out. Because you want to go along, you want to bully somebody, you want to fuck with somebody. There's evidence. There's a lot of body cam and GoPro footage. This is what he's telling me. And it's going to be well taken care of when this cop gets taken down and he has no job. He's not a detective no more. He's going to lose every fucking thing. He's going to, and even on top of this, what I've heard from this gentleman, a 37-year-old cop is still living with mommy. Why is he still living with mommy? Why is he still living with daddy? Why can't he get his own home? Why can't he get his own place? Why can't he get on his own? Why has he got to still live with mommy and daddy? Why has he got to be protected from mommy and daddy? Because he don't want to buy a house? He don't want to be with his wife or girlfriend? What's the big deal about this? Now, this is what happens when you bully this individual, sir. When you bully this person, information needs to get put. Why still live with mommy and daddy? That's how I look at it. A 37-year-old June 88 boy still living at mommy's home. When you're a grown-up man driving a brand new SUV as well as a Dodge Challenger or Dodge Charger, blue Dodge Charger, a navy colored Charger with brand new rims and a whole bunch of other stuff all decked out to make you look like a professional officer when you're doing very wrong things. And on top of that, people need to learn to stop fucking bullying people. You bully people, he's going to come after you and he's going to sue you. We already know, and I already know, and my friend Emily, and my friend Jackie, and my friend James, and Michael, they all know that I'm friends with these people, and they're also cops. And when I explain to them this situation and what's going on, they're like, oh, the situation. What situation? Oh, with your friend. Okay. The friend that happened in September, he was there that day. This officer that was friends with this friend said, if he was there that day when he got arrested, he was definitely the person that was interested and interest. That right there automatically tells you when that person's there and he thinks he's innocent because he's directing traffic, like this person said, after he got taken care of and everything was processed through the mental hospital that he had to go through, and he had to go through a whole bunch of outpatient services. Things hadn't been done. Now it turns out that this cop showed up after he getting arrested, and the sergeant and all this other stuff that these cops were doing to this person, excessive force. That's police brutality. People don't understand that's police brutality. First Amendment right, protected activity, and all because he had a warrant. This cop had to go along. Mr. Thompson and Egan had to fuck with him. But then on top of that, Jeff Horvat showed up. So there was a percentage that Jeff Horvat was definitely involved in this arrest because he wanted to get back into service. Well, I'm going to tell you this right now. This is what happens in life. There's only one person in life, like my friend tells me, and he repeats this to me and he texts it to me. Every fucking time you turn around, you fuck with somebody. There's only one person in this world that is watching over you. All it takes is you to fuck with somebody and something happens to you. It's because of what he is doing. He sees when good people are getting abused, bullied, fucked with and pushed around like a piece of paper in thin air. When people sit around, God is the number one person in this world that my friend told me, as well as this officer of his friend, also even says, when you fuck with somebody, it does come back and it will bite you. And when it come and bites you, it will bite you so hard to where you lose everything. Everything. Good day, sir. That's what happens. You lose everything. You guys think that you are doing your job. You want to arrest this person. You want to go around getting evidence on this person. You want to go around getting all these girls and getting all these people after this person because of the fact you want to sit here and make a case against him because of the truth that's being told. That's not my problem. When he knows that this cop is bullying him, didn't like that he got in trouble, and now he wants to retaliate against him. Retaliation is illegal. Cop can get in trouble and he can lose his fucking job. Losing his job, losing his pay, losing his pension, losing fucking everything. You will be on the street and you'll be living at mommy and daddy's house forever. You will not have another cop job. They will not hire you. When you lose your job, it's over. No police officer townships are going to hire another cop when they find out that there's police misconduct. Why is a cop still hired in the township that he got a lawsuit against because of a civil rights violation? I would have fired him in a fucking heartbeat if I was the detective, lieutenant or sergeant or something. I would have did a big investigation and I would have put him down in his misery and made sure that he will lose his job. And he can't get rehired no more. Get denied. Get denied. Every time he gets want to get a job as a security officer, automatically denied because of what he did. Why is someone going to go around and sit there and violate someone's civil rights and still have a fucking job and got promoted as a detective? How? Going from a patrolman to a detective. Kissing people's asses, that's the problem. That's the whole fucking issue we have here. Is people kissing people's asses. Just like today, people think there's no slavery going on. I'm going to tell you something right now. This whole fucking country is considerably slavery. You got favoritism in work. Same thing in the police department. You got favoritism. You got certain police officers that are favoritism. They're very favorite. Kiss each other's ass so they can keep their job. This detective is kissing people's asses so he can't lose his job. But when he fucks up and he does one bad thing to this person, like he's been harassing him, bullying him, same age as this person, bullying him, harassing him, and being there while he was being arrested, that right there is 3 strikes right on your fucking curb. Jeff don't realize bad things could happen. It could happen. But God will give him the punishment. That's how I look at it. God. G-O-D. God. Jesus. The Lord in vain is the person that does, the person that punishes, and the person that disgraces people, that does bad things to others. And I'm going to tell you now, Jeff, I know what you did to that person. I know what you did. You want to hide it. This is why I'm here to speak it for this gentleman. I feel very, very bad for this person because of what you're doing to his life and what your department was doing to him, as well as when he was living in another area in a different town. Police department knocking on his door saying, why we're here? Because of the Woodbridge Police Department. Why would the Woodbridge Police Department dispatch other officers in a different town to come there and care for him? Evidence, video evidence on the fucking phone for that too. Why would there be Woodbridge Township police officers dispatching another town because of the fact that someone was there upset and hurt because of his sexual assault, his rape, as well as being physically abused by his parents? Why would the Woodbridge PD contact Edison PD where he was living at the time? Why would they contact another police department to come out there? because of this fucking cop. Evidence on that too. Recording evidence about that too, how the officer showed up and the officer that was there asking the person's identification and making sure he was okay. He got all red-faced because he didn't like that. We're not doing the job properly. He's not getting his information that he wanted because of Jeff Horvat. Jeff Horvat wanted to know where the fuck this person was living and where he was staying. Oh, and just like another little incident that happened too, that this poor person was living in another area in Edison as well. And an Edison police officer asking some subject where that person was living. Why the fuck would you do that? No police officer or no police in any kind of specific way should ever ask anybody where the fuck you live. Now do you see where I'm coming from? It's all because of Jeff Horvat and his so-called cousin or his so-called family member, blood-related person that's a lieutenant in Edison Township Police Department, is Michael Horvat, the one trying to figure out where this person lives so they can fucking ID somebody in public? Are you really that fucking stupid? We already know. And having a friend that is a police officer automatically knows. Oh yeah. They're very corrupt. The way they are, yes, they are. They're very, very, very corrupt. And this officer agrees with it. And then an NYPD officer that is friends with this other person that lives in New York City even says, oh, yeah, those cops are very fucking dirty. Trying to figure out where you live. Trying to get your identification. Who the fuck are you to sit there and ask some random person, where are you living? Where are you staying? It's none of your business. Do you want to know where you live? We can find out where you live. You trust me, it's an easy way to process when you look up and put into a program on Google where you can actually look up people's names and where they live. You want to sit there, you want to bother somebody and harass somebody, it's going to come back. God is going to punish you. When God punishes you, something happens, that's a wake-up call. Wake-up call. Don't fuck with them. You fuck with this person, you're going to get a fucking... I'm telling you, God is praying very hard on this gentleman because this gentleman ain't doing a damn thing to anyone. He's been very good. He's been doing his stuff, keeping him to himself, and then also mentally traumatized because of the Woodbridge Township. Traumatized because of him being aggressive and excessive force with police brutality on him. I do think, particularly, I do think that these police departments, Edison and Woodbridge Township, both of them need to be investigated. I'm sorry to say that, but it definitely needs to be done. The state or the government, because I already did my share of work, as well as my friend of mine, asking for help because of what these cops are doing to them. Contacted Donald Trump. Contacted Governor Murphy. Now it's Governor, what is her name? Sherrill or something like that. The female governor is going to be notified about this too because of what the Woodbridge Township and Edison Township is doing to this person. Does the governor need to know? I do think so. I think it needs to be put all over the news. I think it needs to be publicly put out there and let people know what these cops are doing to innocent people. I do think it needs to be done. I definitely know today will be the day where the governor of New Jersey will be notified and there will be an application submitted to have Woodbridge Township and Edison Township Police Department, the mayors, both mayors be notified, and things are going to have to be processually done because of what they're doing to this individual. There's no reason for it. Bullying him, police brutality, police misconduct, I could tell you this also, what he was telling me. He definitely thinks that the cop in Woodbridge Township was linked to his arrest. I agree. I totally agree. Cops talk to each other like a little bike chain. One link is Woodbridge, one link is Rahway, one link is Perth Amboy, one link is Edison, one link is Linden, Elizabeth. It's all linked. The one big huge chain on a bike is all linked to cops. They all get linked up together as like a little chain, and they sit there and they communicate with each other. Does the police department need to be in trouble? I definitely do think so. I definitely do think they need to be taken for granted. I think they definitely need to be investigated. Sorry to say it, but fuck the Woodbridge PD and fuck the Edison PD for what this person's going through. It's very sick. Other police officers, other police departments, don't bother this gentleman. Don't bother him. These both have bothered him. Asking for his name, address, and all this other stuff. Asking for credentials for what? Social security number for what? This is why I do think they both need to be investigated. I'm sorry to say it, but fuck the police. Fuck those two especially. Other ones? No disrespect. They're doing their job. I think the other townships in New Jersey are doing their job more and better than Edison and Woodbridge Township. I'm sorry to say it, but it's got to be, guys. Thank you again. Have a good, happy Valentine's Day. Everybody be safe and well. God bless you all. And God bless America. And I hope you all, please fight for your rights. And also fight for your right to party. Because I'm going to tell you something. It's going to happen very, very soon when these cops fuck with this individual. And he will get a lawsuit. I hope he does. I really hope he does. Because he definitely needs a pay. He definitely needs a pay. This cop and the other cops, trust me, in Woodbridge and Edison, they're all fucked up. I'm telling you. What they were doing to him and all that video evidence on the body cam and thing, it's sad. Have a good day, you all.